Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Boneyard podcast. This week, we got some awesome guests. Everyone's returning. Everyone's at least been on one episode. So glad to have these guys back. I'm your host, Big Bear Berg, leader of the Bone Regiment. Been playing for since 2020. But I am my guests, sorry. We got Grumblo this week, Colonel Cockface, and I Saw a Bear. I'll let them give a little bit more detail about themselves. Take it away, guys.
Who do you want going first, man?
We'll just start with you, Gremlo, since you're at the top. You're at the top.
Sure. What's up, guys? Gremlo, leader of the Gremlins. Been playing Foxhole for, 6 years now, and loving it. Took a little break, after the air update, but happy to be back and excited to talk a little bit about some of the new stuff that's going to be coming here soon. But thanks for having me, Berg.
Okay.
All right, so Colonel Cockface, leader of the Cocks, doing the same way as Gremlo did, right? But also co-manager of RTA Coalition. Been done this, done that over the 6.5 years of playing this game, right? And it's just great to be here once again, boys.
Oh, hang on. I gotta turn on my camera. Oh god, it's so blown out.
Oh my god.
The brightness has turned up to a million, dude. Holy shit.
100%. I'm putting the flashbang meme. I am 100% putting the flashbang meme in here. In the fucking
the vein in my fucking forehead from
Well-
that. Holy shit.
Anyways,
You can still see it. I gotta stop. Oh my god.
okay, not what I meant to do. Anyways, I saw a bear. I am currently sick right now, so I am laying on my day bed, recovering and doing this podcast. Been playing since August of 2016, so this year will be my 10th year of playing Foxhole, which is absolutely bonkers. Okay, back to you guys. I can't talk for too long.
I mean,
I need to rest my voice.
Dude, I think you
some
might be getting sick from all that radiation from the fucking sun in your room, dog.
He looks like
I've been playing Fallout 4 a
bomb
lot
just
lately.
went off next to him, dude.
I'll try to fix it.
No, it's cool, dude. Well, we picked a perfect day for the podcast. It's either the devs had some intervention in this, or I just hit the fucking lotto, boys, because this is about to be a banger episode with the roadmap being dropped. I had a whole list of questions I was going to fan out, and that all got turned on its head. I really want to talk about this this roadmap. I have not even scrolled through this yet. I know Colonel Cockface is not
same
either.
for me.
Yeah, and so it's going to be kind of a live action or live review as well. But there's also some things and questions I do want to talk about as well once we kind of get through this roadmap. But other than that, yeah, dude, super excited to have you guys on, and let's do some doom scrolling on here, see what we love and hate. So, for the people that have seen it, Gremblo, I Saw a Bear, what do you guys think, just as a general? Do you guys think it was good or bad? As we kind of
I think overall, it was
generally good.
It was a W, yeah, for sure. There's very little that I could be upset about. I feel like the quality of life focus, we've all been asking for it, and it's great that the interns were able to somehow get dev attention, and we got some love with that. Shabbat shalom to you, my friend. Hello. Anyway,
Shabbat
Just talking to chat right now if you're confused, guys.
Yeah, I will note, one of the very few times that devs will actually directly reference where they took inspiration from some of the changes from. They don't do it very often, and I feel like it's sometimes to protect those who make the suggestions, so that people don't dogpile them on Reddit. But I think the intern stream was so well received by both the devs and the player base that they're just like, well, we got to give more direct credit to these guys. And honestly, they put in a lot of, I haven't even watched it yet, but I know they put in a lot of work just to imitate a regular dev stream. So hats off to them for that. That's how you do proper complaints. You do it with love and passion, not hate and no numbers.
Fuck this podcast. It's a piece of shit.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm just kidding. Let's check out this this light air or anti-air light tanks. Check out this video. So this is hatchet variant. That what the hell is that?
So
I mean,
both of them are variants on light tanks, which I found interesting. So they're making them,
Dude, that's
I mean,
a
I guess as easily balanceable as possible by making them the same vehicle chassis, basically.
that's a that sounds like the flat gun, the heavy flat gun, the entrenched ones. That's what that sounds like in there.
Yeah, they
The
are
gun-
flat guns.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's awesome that they made the
probably use the
flat
same
guns
shells. then.
mobile, and I think this is where also I kind of had just a slight wish that they had maybe added that to the AA boats, like the Sombre and the Warden variant too. But can't be mad with new things that get added. Hopefully that's something that gets added, or another like boat in the future. But I thought those
What
were
if
cool.
they make it? What if they make it so that you cannot stack the shells and you can only have two shells in the barrel and one in the inventory?
Well,
I mean, that'll still give you enough rounds to shoot at a plane
hold on.
making one pass at you.
Did you guys
And
just
then
see
you have to
that?
reload until he turns around and makes another pass, so...
They just I don't know if okay, never mind. The dispersion on that, by the way, we can already tell this is 3 shots, so maybe he might be right, which is scary as shit because I only see 3 in this video. Oh, that's
know the
4.
devs,
No,
bro.
we're good. That's 4.
Yeah,
That's at
there's
least
Okay,
4.
okay, we're good.
Well, Berg, you could also shoot infantry with this. Like that. I mean, the devs were really thinking with that one, man. Like, I want to just use it on infantry. I don't
Oh
even care
my
about the
God.
planes.
Oh no! Oh
Well,
no! This
thankfully,
Who
they're
could
needs
only
blow my
Scorpion?
light
fucking-
tanks and nothing heavier than that.
Oh no!
That's
if they
insane.
can actually shoot the ground. Oh no!
It's been great.
Yeah, so we had talked about that when the original AA gun was in, like setting one of those up on top of a hill and just splashing infantry. But the problem is the dispersion on it is so bad, you'd be hitting a lottery ticket. But the thing is, when it's mobile and you can push it up against a wall or push it like right next to a town hall and you limit the amount of dispersion that there can be, imagine rolling one of those up to a town hall like door where it's all packed and they're all trying to be in there and you just pump a shell in and just murk everybody in the town hall, dude. That's
I mean,
gonna
to
be
fair, by the time you can safely roll up a mobile flat gun into a, presumably fortified or formerly fortified town, it's probably already game over for that town.
Yeah, I mean, I just we're gonna have to wait and see. I mean, that could be
have to
really
see.
funny for clips. I
Okay.
mean,
I had another thing I wanted to ask you guys related specifically to this. It looks and appears to be one tank is firing multiple shells from the guns, right?
mhm.
So like that, those
Yeah.
2 turrets fire 4 shells or whatever. Do you think they're gonna bring that multi-shot change over to the emplaced flat guns as well? Because that was something
I
a lot of people
hope.
were asking for as well.
I really hope they add a 5-round like I don't know what it's called IRL, but I hope they add like a 5-round mag for the AA guns. Holy
I would even be
smokes, I
happy
would
with
love
just
that.
3. Just
I mean,
anything more than 1.
Because if you
yeah.
think about it, if they don't buff the stationary AA gun, there will be literally no reason to build it. You just make an AA
Mhm.
tank and you just park it on the spot.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm
Yeah.
hoping like the dispersion or something like that for the in place one, like that ends up getting
It's
tighter.
like a laser versus this would be a little bit
Yeah.
more sporadic. That would also be a good
Yeah.
change that we talked about. My homegirl Felissa in the Bone Reggie, I was talking to her and she said, obviously she said the exact same things you guys just said. I am kind of leaning towards I hope they make the anti-air gun kind of like how do I put it? I want it to make it like a Starbreaker almost, to where like it would hit harder than a general tank or whatever, like this, a mobile platform. It would hit harder, more accurate, but more costly, right? Like I feel like when like one of those flat grounds hit you or hit your plane, you should really be like scared.
Well, I
you
got
know?
good news for you. You should keep reading the update notes.
Oh man,
We'll keep
you're just
scrolling.
ruining
We
it.
might-
There's some good
we're
shit
in
in
for
there.
a little bit then. So I saw this, and my buddy Karn, he put in the YouTube comments that he thinks it's stupid that we can't turn 12.7s up at the sky. He is so fucking excited for the first scout plane to come up on his little sandcastle, and he's gonna have like him and 3 of his buddies just light one up, dude. He's so excited for this change, and I think that's so sick, dude. I think getting like tripods to turn up, and even on gunboats and train cars. So now train cars won't be absolutely defenseless either. That's huge.
So does this technically mean we've gotten more than one mobile AA vehicle with this update?
I mean, that
Right, with the half
theoretically,
track.
Yeah, I mean, looks like.
that's huge.
Except
Wait,
one
does
is
that
like for
wait,
low
doesn't that also
altitude and
count
one
for,
for
like
high, right?
ISGs and shit like that then too?
See, what my
So
question?
when I first saw this, no, go
What's
ahead.
that?
Or is it just
No.
12.7?
So that every vet just went to the same question: is the ISG going to be able to shoot in the sky?
That's what I was saying.
So-
when I first saw this, I was like, "Oh my god, is the ISG finally going to be shooting up in the sky?" Like,
oh,
dude. And then it's like the Warrens get the RPG, and it's like, "What the fuck is this?"
yeah, dude.
But no, it looks like just machine guns.
I
But
hope.
Hey, RPGs have travel times. ISGs
yeah,
don't. They'll be
it's just
way
hit scan. like, what the fuck?
A-
Wouldn't it be
a
funny if the
level of-
ISG was better than the flat gun?
Yeah, just a 30 mil dominates planes, dude. Just
Yeah.
cracks them. That'd be hilarious. Yeah, I'm very interested to see. I don't think they say anything about any. I think it's just machine guns, from my understanding. But I guess we'll have to see when the dev branch comes out. Smoother aircraft movement.
Thank God.
That's gonna be one of those. We'll have to wait and see what that actually feels
Yeah,
like.
because
Yeah.
of the concert lag, right? Concert lag and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I would just be curious from a information perspective, like how they actually managed to achieve that. Like, did they just render all the ground assets in way lower poly, or what did they do? I'm just curious about how they managed that.
Yo, that's a small quality of life thing. That's pretty cool. The squad leader mark. That's
Yeah, that
actually
is
pretty cool.
fucking-
I mean,
Thank you, interns.
so I'm
Thank you, interns.
yeah, interns. Shout out. I still need to get you guys on my podcast, dude. That definitely needs to happen. I just don't know if we can facilitate fucking all 10 of you guys in one podcast. It's gonna be really hard. We gotta still iron that out.
Now just kick Isa, Bear, and Gramblo and me out.
Well,
Yeah, that's
yeah, I
fine.
mean
They
that's
got
the
top line
problem.
in.
The rest anyway.
We'll kick all of you guys out. That was already a part of the deal, but I don't know if I can fit 10 onto this screen without it looking decent, you know? But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Map tool tips, pins, Delta's view.
The deltas is sick, man. Like, I love doing Logi, and if I could see where, like, what items are trending down or up, like, I want to be able to kind of plan ahead that way.
Oh, that's
Yo,
actually
that is
cool as
sick.
fuck.
Stuff now.
Yo,
Yo,
that's
what the
actually cool as
Simple,
fuck.
but really important for
Yeah.
a lot of people.
That's awesome. That's gonna teach a lot of new players, you know, what they need to be bringing
Yeah,
in,
that's
the trends.
good for the new players. That's good for new players. The vets they already know, but the new players don't.
Yeah, that's
And the fact
actually
that
really
you can,
big.
like, pin multiple like production lines to the screen and see how they're progressing at the same time
Yeah.
is huge.
That's cool. That's a really good quality of life there. That's plus.
Logi players are salivating.
Yeah,
They're like,
that's
"Oh my
that's
god,
really
dude.
good.
Make my
Remember
game
this
look like an
moment
Excel
when people
spreadsheet."
5 months from now say they never think
finally-
about
Oh my
Logi.
God.
They definitely thought about Logi.
Look at that, bro. You can see what's being done on the pad, on the small assembly station.
Oh yeah, yeah. The percentage complete.
Oh, what? Yo, that's actually really nice too. That's really sweet. That does give me concerns though. I don't think it really matters because you could already see like the color coding, but like let's talk about the elephant in the room. What if an alt sees
Alts in my
that
balls?
something's alts in the
Also my
walls?
balls.
I mean, but let's be real. Like,
Yeah.
what if you see an alt? I mean, either way, I don't think it really would have mattered if they were planning on doing malicious intent to a vehicle on a pad anyway, because that's the weakest point for the vehicle, right? But
Yeah.
this does give a countdown, a much more legitimate countdown than just the color code on the vehicle for nastiness. This gives a true countdown. So I do see some possible malicious intent with this, but overall, I think for a good 90%, I think that'd be pretty decent. I mean, for everyone else. I did get a little. I lied, boys. There's someone told me something earlier, and I can't wait till we get to it. I did hear about one of the things in the update, and I'm super excited about it. Reserve stockpile 2 and basin finish. Cut to. Yeah, okay, so this is it. I thank God we're here. Vehicle fucking anchoring. Holy shit. So my buddy, my fat guy for Bone, he was like, fucking yes. Like, that is the best thing they've ever done. Being able to anchor a vehicle to where it's not going to get stolen. Now, what makes me very curious, though, and very scared about this, and makes me want to put partisans on seppuku watch, is anchoring a boat means it can't be wrenched and stolen. Is that the same thing for supers and BTs now? Because if that's the case, you're cutting a massive
boats with anchors in the first
that is
place.
a good question, mate.
But that's the thing, it's vehicle anchoring. So
Right,
are you going to be able to steal BTs and supers now? The thing is, I think it's still a very good change if they can't, because I don't think it's good that you can do an exclamation point unstuck or a slash unstuck and get out of a facility with a super or a BT and shit like that. Those things are, well, it only happens so often. It's like, yes, but these are also like 48 to 24 hour cook times with at least 8 hours of multiple people's logi.
But you know what that means, right? You know what that means, Bear. It means if Parsons can still wrench him, it means that the main reason why people put them on cranes is because of Parsons, right? There's partly the team stuff, right? But it's also Parsons. So if the Parsons can still wrench them, this functionally becomes useless. Like,
I still think that when I saw this, I think crane parking is still going to be a thing. Like for me, when I first saw this, like with crane parking, it at least saves you, especially if you have a smaller facility, it saves you up on space instead of having the tank or whatever sitting up and taking up more space. But I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I personally think either option works.
I'm going to be
We
real.
need to test that.
Hot take. I think they should just rip off the fucking Band-Aid. Let us put them in aircraft hangars. If we can fit a B-52 fucking bomber in the aircraft hangar, we should be able to park a fucking super heavy in there.
Doesn't make any sense though.
I just, it annoys me so bad that we can't put away these assets.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a beat around the bush. I do think they're attempting to be a quality of life here. It's just, this just screams to me, why not let us put them in storage facilities? Like, why can't we put these in storage depots and put them...
You could have a train depot.
We're going to have to see what this anchoring actually means. Because in my eyes, it's still... If it can be wrenched, I think you're right. This proves nothing, and we're still going to be doing cranes.
Useless.
And, I mean, the only thing that you're not going to be doing is when you're running the tank out there, no one's going to be able to yoink it. But if you're running the tank, if you lose it, that's insane anyway. Like, that's... I can't see that being useful. But...
Yeah, we'll see how it pans out.
I want to see how that pans out. I definitely like the trajectory they're going for, and at least trying to address the issues players are having, because that has been a very long and hard conversation that's been going around. So very happy with that. Vehicle squad reservation UI. Oh, nice! It gives a reservation time. That's really sweet.
I love anything that makes me not have to do math.
Yeah, that's really.
I feel
good.
like the theme of this whole thing is like devs giving us more information is just like a net good.
Yeah.
Like I want to know all this stuff, or like the deltas, anything like that. More information is not a bad thing. I think it is kind of like daunting for new players, but when it's presented like this, like it's like one more line of thing you're reading, and it's just a balancing act. Like you don't want to let it go wild, but this is great.
I did see this when I scrolled through earlier. You're going to be able to recreate MPF-able vehicles. So I don't know how much this is actually going to help in the long
mean,
run, but I
not
feel like
really,
this
right?
will. I feel like this will help, like frontline upgrade stations a lot. But that's really my only thing. Like, I just don't see. I think it's a good thing, but I just don't see the use of this. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
I'm
mean,
not a
what do you
Logi
do?
Chad
What do
though.
you do? What do
No,
you do
I'm
with
not.
MPFs, right? You put them to the place that needs to be delivered, and then you use them, right? You don't need to repack them, but it's still
I
good
But
that it's
guess.
there.
would this maybe allow for, again, I'm not the most versed Logi player, so I'm putting this to you guys, but would this allow for like faster transferal of equipment and forces laterally instead of vertically? That is to say, like, let's say the collies just fended off an attack in Endless Shore and they immediately want to storm into, I'm too sick to actually remember the maps right now, an adjacent region,
Mm-hmm.
and like
Yeah,
you want to take all of those, tanks that they just pulled to defend Endless Shore, pack them back onto trains, and then ship them over to Drown Vale or whatever.
there.
Like,
Yeah, I
is that
mean,
something that's facilitated by
th-
this change,
that could
or
work, but I think what we've seen a lot is you'll find front lines that are just full of like flatbeds or iron ships, and they're
right?
just like getting more and more of those at the front. So instead of them just sitting there collecting dust, you could package them up, transfer them more easily back to the rear, and that saves on like BMATs or
Okay.
That's
RMATs
a
that
good
you need to
idea.
make for that.
Guys, the devs did drop us a little hint here. They didn't show us fucking tanks here and MPTs. They showed us Dune Logi trucks and fucking cranes and CDs. They did
Yeah,
drop
true.
us a hint, guys. That's a very valid
But
point. I
Bear,
like that though a lot. What's up?
Bear, you forgot one thing though. I saw a bear, not Big Bear.
I'll
You
just be
forgot one
Berg
thing
for
though
this
too.
podcast. I'll be
Yeah,
Berg.
Too many bears.
yeah, too many bears.
Sorry.
You forgot one thing about your lateral, sideways logi is that not my hex, bro. Okay.
True, true. Facts.
Nimbies.
Get your own Logi, man. fucking Faranac fighting on the goddamn whatever it's called, the
Please.
ledge.
Please
Oh, the
send something
fucking
Lockheed when no one ever comes here.
the hill, dude.
The
Fucking
incline.
the ramp. That's what it's the ramp, dude.
The ramp.
ramp,
there
yeah.
The
you go.
ramp. Fuck that place, dude. Player context
Just like, bro.
menu. Commenters post can now be open, allowing for better coordination and communication with team members.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
pretty cool.
Fine.
that's interesting.
Again,
Just
small
more.
change.
Yeah,
Might not use it, but it's
Can call him
cool
an
that it's
idiot.
an option.
Can
up
call
there.
him an idiot in PM.
Yeah, when somebody like puts a map post that says dead hex, I can whisper him and be like, "You're in here, dude. What are you talking about?"
dude. All I can see is we need fucking bomas or some shit. No, you fucking don't. You have 800. Shut the fuck up. Like that's all I'm gonna
Look-
see out of
look
these.
at the
Literally,
bunker
what I
base,
said. What I
dude.
said. You call him an idiot in fucking DM.
Yeah,
dude.
this is gonna be a DM of like, dude, shut the fuck up, you're dumb. Like that's all it's gonna be, dude. Oh my god, it's gonna be a quality of life to shit talk people who are asking for dumb shit. Fucking, we need 17 crates of augers. Okay.
17 crates of shut the fuck up.
Yeah, yeah, 17 crates. Yeah, shut it. When repairing vehicle structure on screen, modifier
I
time being targeted for repair.
Love this one actually.
Again, more
someone-
information. I love it.
As
Yep.
someone
Oh,
who
that's
did
huge.
a lot of aircraft maintenance, repairs, and stuff, trying to speed run how fast we could re-equip scout planes and stuff and repair aircraft on airfields. This is actually huge because figuring out which part of the plane you're hitting, especially on larger aircraft, was a fucking nightmare. This
Yeah,
will help
that's
a lot.
actually really a very nice quality. Like another thing that really makes me as a tanker mad, and I know you guys have had it, when you hop out and you're hitting a damaged trench and not hitting your tank.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna help in that situation a lot, I feel like. So that's actually a pretty based update.
For new
A
players
plus to
too. I mean,
that.
like they don't know.
Yeah, no, that's huge. I think that's a really good thing.
It's more newbie stuff, right? This
Yeah.
update for now. It's like we know all this stuff, right? But like newbies.
Well, because you've had to fail how many
the
times though to actually learn the lesson, and that's
Yeah, true.
they won't have to go through the trials and tribulation, which is always good. This
Also, to the person in the chat who just said, you don't need 17 crates of useless snipers. Fuck you. The auger's great. I like it, actually.
Auger buff when though.
yeah,
It
Fuck.
sucks balls, dude. Sorry to break it to you.
No, it's good. Believe me, I've used it plenty. It's fine.
Yeah, this guy's a warden, by the way. This guy's a warden.
I've been playing Polly's for the last 2 wars. It's fine.
Several
I
issues
actually
that
Forehead.
quite like.
contributed to the RPG aim line being difficult to use has been resolved, making the interface more predictable and consistent. I'll like to
Cutlers
believe
are not
that when
bad
I
anymore,
see it.
dude.
I'll like to believe that when I see it.
I am gonna miss people whiffing RPG shots at point blank range. It was such a joy to see people just fucking lose it in the field, missing a fucking
So
pillbox with an RPG.
This is gonna work with the RPG boat too, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not just the
Prob-
cutler.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably. I also assume this is going to be not just a buff for the Cutler, but for the Foe Breaker. I think this will probably be, like, honestly, all RPGs like Banes, Venoms, Carnix, mostly any projectile RPG base. I think this is going to be overall, I think they selected their favorite weapon, the Cutler for the image, but I think this is an overhaul, I think, for RPG shots. So I'll be interested to see what that actually means. I'm gonna be honest, I never really had a problem aiming RPGs in the first place. That's actually a good point, Tech Priest. The Quadish also.
Oh shit, yeah.
That'll be getting a little
about
buff there too.
The tank nobody
Um,
uses.
I'm still,
Yeah.
dude. I swear to God, dude. If they want that tank to be fucking juiced, bro, let it choose between AP RPGs and HE RPGs. If that thing could shoot AP like the Bane ammo, that thing would be some hot, dude. Oh my God, 4 AP RPGs, that'd be some hot shit, bro. Additional
Oh yeah,
quality
Phil
of
went
life.
to mention the Gemini car too. That one had weird aiming issues. I don't know if when you guys use the Gemini, I don't know, for some reason like the line where you're aiming always like kind of shakes for me. So I wonder if that's gonna
Oh yeah. No, I know what you're
actually
talking
improve
about
it
too.
too.
Yeah. I think like I think this is going to be a bigger quality of life update that we'll just not really notice until we're really playing in a lot of these vehicles in small instances.
Mhm.
I'm oh man. This might make Bane gangs and Carnix gangs fucking even scarier though. When you have
I
like
know,
10,
right?
15
If they don't
guys in a
bounce.
They're finally
trench.
capitalized.
If they don't bounce.
Well, but the
Yeah.
thing is, like, the bounces you can always account for with just more people, but misses is always a skill issue. And if you have people that are more consistently hitting, giving yourself a better % chance to win, that might make AT gangs actually a lot more scary. I'm interested to see that update. There are many more quality of life, including the update. Here's just a few. Ranks, capitalization.
They fixed ranks, kind of. Yay.
Yeah, except we still
I
hate
would,
our
I
fucking
would like
ranks.
to point. I would
Revert
like to
ranks,
point out that
please.
there's
I'm
better
telling you, man,
mods.
they just need to make the ranks cool symbols. Just get the art team to do some
Oh,
cool
yeah.
symbols for it, and everyone would love it.
Oh my
Good idea.
God. Damaged vehicles can now be submitted to stockpiles.
Yup.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but hold on.
Does that
hold
mean
on. Do
that
they
it's a repair now?
Yeah.
Is that a
don't
garage?
Yeah,
think
that's
so.
what, that was I was gonna say. Do they get
wondering
retrieved
about
as
that.
damaged? Do they get
No, I-
retrieved
Does
as
it
damaged?
save it as damage?
I feel like it's gonna be damaged.
I feel it as well.
That's
it's gonna be
huge.
It's some like exploited. There's gonna be a bit of a way to exploit things otherwise. If they retrieve them like.
But you
incompletely
know
finished.
what? That's right. Oh my God. Can we store enemy vehicles now?
Oh shit.
You can
Yeah,
store
yeah.
enemy vehicles now. Stolen
Well, if
enemy
they've not
Vics.
changed anything else, or if they haven't changed anything else, whatever.
Well,
I'm sick.
as long as it doesn't. If it's reservable, the only thing that would not allow you to do it back in the day was if it was taking any damage. You'd have to have it taken to a garage. So now,
Oh, right.
if you have like a triple vetted Bone Law, let's say that you stole from the Wardens, or a triple vetted Spatha that you stole from the Collies, and it's been taking damage, but you want to use it the next day, it's reservable. If you hang that, you couldn't hang it, you couldn't do anything with it. Now you should be able, well, vetted, scratch that, because you can't put vetted stuff away anyway. But point being, you get what I'm trying to say. You can put like a stolen Outlaw that you got, or a stolen Spatha that's reservable now. So very interested. Oh my God. That is
There's a lot of good
probably the best fucking thing I've ever seen in the fucking game, bro. If you guys have been the crane bitch on an Artiop, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when dropping pallets next to octagons. Oh, so good,
Can you
dude.
explain to me and the
What do you
rest of
think,
the audience
boys?
who can't piece together mentally what
So
you mean again?
here's the thing, right? If you were setting a pallet down, let's say you're setting down a pallet of 120 next to an octagon, it would give you the double wrench or the double gear symbol to where you couldn't place that down. You would have enough room, you would have enough area to lay the pallet down, but you couldn't do it because
Oh,
it was too close. Like the sphere was
right.
just overriding it. Now if you hold shift, it will allow you to override that you don't want to drop it in the octagon and you want to drop it exactly in that position. So
Right,
people
right.
that's so nice for quality of life. You would actually now you might be able to load Warden 120 or like all 150. You might be able to set the pallet close enough to where you'll be able to grab it from the actual in the trench out. You know what I'm saying? You'll probably be able to set the pallet close enough to where you'll be able to actually not need a 2-man operation to load a gun anymore.
We're gonna
How
have like
far
just a
does
daisy
the
chain of pallets of ammo all around these hexagons now.
Yes.
It's gonna be
how,
great.
how far does the override go though? Like this needs
Well,
to be tested.
that obviously we're just looking at what we can see here. Obviously, we're going to need to do a lot of testing, but just going off of what we can see, even getting it that much closer is huge. You know what I mean? Like that was so annoying. I mean, especially for like Rapturas or Starbreakers, having that ammo only being able to be put in a box to be close, that's huge. That's really big. Wow. Increase the retrieve custom max amount.
Hell
So
yeah.
now you can pull
99
3,000 coal.
So,
At
Yep.
least we're right now it's 3,000 coal from what we can see. We'll
I
obviously have
can't
to
wait
do
to
some
pull
testing.
100 public crates of shirts, and everyone's gonna yell at me because I'm sitting in a crane doing it.
Dude,
Can't wait for it.
the
It's gonna be
best
great.
part is when you're going to see pull 100 shirts, this will take 23 years.
Right?
That's gonna be interesting for sure. New map filter for ships. That's nice
that's nice.
too. You'll actually be able to see what ship
Especially
is.
when you're like staring at the map trying to figure out, okay, is this like a destroyer raiding op or are these like aircraft
Yeah.
carriers launch
Yeah,
fighters?
that'll be nice.
Does it mean the two squares will be replaced by these icons now?
I'm
I guess.
curious. I'm curious because I don't think we'll be able to. I think like an enemy ping will still be 2 dots. You're not going to be able to get that info like that off the map.
Mhm.
But I definitely think like your team will definitely be able to see what's where. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I don't
Hopefully, yeah.
think I don't think you're gonna see like a bluefin icon if it got intel pinged as like a colonial seeing a warden bluefin. But I think if you're a warden logging in and you see a bluefin active, you're gonna see the bluefin icon. You're not gonna see the 2 squares. I would assume. Obviously, this is all speculation. We're gonna have to see and confirm everything. But overall, regardless, I think that's a nice niche thing. AA mode prompt. That's interesting.
Again, for the
Watch
newbies,
my
right?
update
For the
videos.
newbies.
That's a good one. Tracks on roads no longer slow you down.
Another Logi win.
Fucking
Another
Fucking
Logi
hell,
Thank
W.
God.
mint.
Holy fucking
Dude, the
finally.
civil wars that got started because people had train tracks on the road too many times. Fuck, dude, that's gonna be so nice. That's a massive dub. Faster freighter deploy and undeploy.
Also
Was that an
huge.
issue? Was that an issue? I don't
I mean,
do
dude,
freighter logic.
it's just so tedious when you're like trying to open up the freighter.
Mm,
It's just adding more time for no reason.
yeah, okay. Here's where we get to the meat and taters, boys.
Oh,
The
no.
balance changes. It's a lot of reading. Update 64 will
Ooh.
include many neutral balance changes. We've been monitoring wars closely and been making careful balance adjustments. Process will continue to dev branch will work the community to find optimal set of changes. Here are some examples for neutral changes. So this is aiding both sides. Concrete bunkers will settle. Oh wow! Concrete bunkers won't take 24 hours to dry anymore. Fuck. How
Yeah,
how tight is that? How fast are we
I'm gonna be
drying?
split on that one, to be honest.
That's
Like,
Wait, what'd you say,
interesting.
Bear?
obviously it's great for the builders and stuff like that, but does that mean the fronts are gonna get locked down and stalemated even harder now? I guess we'll have to wait and see, but
Yeah, that's my
I
main
mean-
worry as
Probably.
well, Bear. That's my main worry as well.
Because we get access to concrete earlier than before, right?
Yeah, we do.
That's not a thing that you have to wait tech wise.
I don't think
That's-
settling has been the issue, right?
That's whew. That's actually pretty massive, but I'm gonna be honest. With bombers being in the game, tier 2 is not enough anymore.
If you scroll
Right.
down, there's aircraft gameplay balances, so we'll keep
Well,
our reserve and
we haven't
so-
seen
so
that
we see
yet,
that.
but as of right now, not scrolling down because like I said, this is all new to me. I don't mind the change only for the simple fact of bombers literally made tier 1, tier 2 insufficient. And like there was no like it was just you were cooked, dude. There was no
yeah,
pushes
and
ever.
totally.
So
If
I
if
see
this
that.
change had been made before Airborne, I would have just like, well, the wars just got longer for no
Yeah.
real good reason.
With
Yeah.
Airborne, I see that. I see why they did that. But we'll have to see how that shakes up. Dude, all vehicle trailers can now be made at a garage. I don't need a fucking
Thank God.
facility. Thank
Yeah, that was
fuck.
dumb in the first place. It really was.
Trailers are already a bitch and a half to use. The fact we had to go through the like scraping, never mind, I'm not even gonna go with that analogy. Thank God they did that, dude. That was just
It doesn't
so
exist.
bad.
It never happened. It's a figment of our imagination now.
Thank God. Melee weapons buffed. Armored
You just get a
uniforms
recipe
buffed.
for gravel.
Yeah, because gravel fucking sucks, dude. New recipe for gravel from salvage.
Berg doesn't build.
You
There's
know
gonna
what?
be more-
I do
more fucking
build.
effort.
I don't do facilities. Fuck facilities. I hate facilities.
Yeah, they suck.
The dedicated melee players just
Yeah,
are.
the
I'm
trench
so happy,
raiders.
dude. I'm so fucking happy. Give me that one hit kill again, dude. Give me that one hit bayonet kill. I miss it so much. Oh my
Fucking-
God. And you're buffing the armor too. Like, this is meant for me, dude. This is 100% meant for me. I might have to go Warden next war.
Well, so they
Oh
said
yeah, I
uniforms.
forgot how many times you stabbed me in the field, Gremlo.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Shing,
I
shing,
think
shing,
you
all the
more
way,
than
dude.
I'm
anyone has managed to
curious.
stab me.
I'm curious what that means for the colonial flak vest, because like the Warden one is more for, it's like heavier resistance against like bullet fragmentation, and the colonial one's like anti-bleed, right? Isn't that kind of the split difference?
As it is
Kind
right
of,
now,
yeah.
the Warden one can take one more shot. That's it.
Oh, dude, the Warden one. I mean, I'm blocking left and right. When I'm in the trench, I feel like I'm invincible, dude.
Or
I think
or
it's
was it the
blocking more
Collie
than
one?
one.
Was it
Okay.
The Collie
Collie
one
I'm
is
confused.
better against grenades. Like, if you get Harper thrown at you, you're not gonna die. Or you're not gonna bleed, I guess.
This is really bad. I know why they did this change, but that scares the shit out of me.
The
So
trenches.
one of the easiest ways to take out Warden 120 when we don't have entrenched artillery is to blow the trench with trems. And depending on how much they made the explosive resistance, this could be a serious issue with 120s.
Yeah, do
And
you think
actually,
they did this
not even
because of
to
the
start.
bomber?
100% they did this because of the bomber, because you could literally strafe a flat cannon pit with one bomber and literally Shrek all the fucking pits, and you would kill all the guns too. So I know why they did this, but I think this is one of those oversights that they're only thinking of, let's fix the major bleed with bombers, and they're not thinking of the day-to-day killing Starbreakers, because that also makes Starbreakers buffed, that makes Polys buffed, that makes all of these entrenched AT, all that stuff gets a massive buff with this. And
Yeah.
I'm very curious how they're going to go about that, because you can't do it too much, or I'm going to be
Well,
honest.
We'll definitely
trench
test it out
spam is gonna
because
be.
this is probably the change I'm least sure about whether I'd want it to stay in or not.
We'll see.
Especially since you'll read it in just in a minute, but like there's been other improvements for flak and anti-air stuff, so this might actually be a step too far.
Well, real quick, I have a question for you guys, because like for the concrete issue or change in the trench change, like my whole thing with bombers, and I think people would agree, if the devs thought that you would need multiple bombers to be I guess, like, beneficial in whatever tactical, like, air raid you're doing. If you're gonna need more bombers, you're gonna need more bombs. Why not reduce the damage the bombs are actually doing so that you're not actually deleting, like, everything, and it's still viable because you need to have more bombers to begin with to be
There's
more impactful.
sorry, Gremble, remind me. Did you read the notes beforehand or not?
I'm just trying to get them to think before we get to that part.
Oh, I see, I see. Gotcha.
Well, don't.
Oh, gee,
You're
I don't
fucking.
know.
You're ruining it. You're ruining it. No, it's fine.
You're fucking spoiling the movie, man.
God, guys, I haven't seen this part. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested. I did talk about that with Felissa as well. I think instead of making the bombers like either feel nerfed or bad, one thing I suggested is make the bombs weaker and make the bomb count on the plane higher. So that means more time over the AO to be shot down. That gives more time for counters to happen, but it also gives you a cooler effect, B, more area you can affect, and then C, it would also help. It would hurt the logistics side of it, which would also slow down the gameplay in my eyes, which would be good so that people can repair and build. So if you up bomb count, which sounds bad, but lower damage, I think that would be way beneficial because you can't stall bomb anymore. So I think that would be a possibility to fix it. Let's see what they did. Now we're at aircraft.
That's a good idea.
I talked about that with Felissa, and I think that's what you were kind of hinting on, Grimblow. If did I understand that? Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that I do agree with that. I did talk with her about that, and I do agree. Let's read this. We have been assembling aircraft in St. Lawrence, fixing several key issues, aircraft balance lane. Small aircraft parts, quality of life.
Dude, by hand is fucking lit.
Again,
Engineer
another great
uniform
ground crew
has
model
a
of its type.
fucking yes, dude. Engineer uni fucking dub, bro. That's awesome.
Yep.
So if you guys can't read, wearing an engineer
You
uniform.
can't read.
Well, I know some Foxhole players can.
R.I.P.
Wearing an engineer uniform reduces the time needed for assembly and disassembly. Pretty much makes them. What is that? What do they call that for repair team on the ground? There's a word for it.
Ground crew.
Ground crew.
Ground crew, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a ground crew uniform, and they finally found a reason to have the engineer uniform be something. So,
And
I mean,
honestly,
that's nice.
Airborne definitely deserve some criticism, but I will glaze the devs for just a moment here. This is a very them version of like a small portion of an update where everyone was asking, "Oh, let's be able to disassemble aircraft parts a lot easier." And they found a way using their already in-game mechanics and giving more reason to use an already existing item in order to do what people were asking. And that's the kind of updates I really appreciate because it makes the game feel better just overall, you know?
Yeah. I feel like when the grind makes sense, that's where I'm like, okay, yeah, like it should be in the game and whatnot. When it's not just tedious for the sake of being tedious and to add, more complexity into something, that's just I just get annoyed by that. One thing I love about this is I never really use the fighter since Airborne came out because of how fucking time consuming and tedious it was taking a small gauge train or a truck to just put the whole thing together. And I just felt like such an inconvenience anytime I wanted to do it. And I just refused to learn what the most efficient way was to do it. But seeing this and being able to do it by hand and like you can do it even quicker with the engineering uniform. I think there was also a weight reduction element too in like the previous update. If you wore a uniform, it didn't like over encumber you or something like that. Like this is great.
Yeah, I like small stuff like that. I always call it like a hand-me-down update, right? Like making the little brother old equipment reusable. I've said it for a long time. This isn't what I wanted the engineer uniform to go to, but I'm glad it actually finally got something. It's my favorite looking at uniform in the game. and this might actually just make me play ground crew because I like the engineer uniform that much, like genuinely. And I'm glad it finally
Berg,
found
we
a
gotta
home.
do speed runs for how fast your ground crew can repair a plane.
Oh, dude, I
True.
mean, Bone got pretty nasty,
Fucking-
dude. We got pretty good.
Fucking F1 repair crew.
I got
Don't
I don't know,
okay.
dude. Shout out AC's Overlook ground crew, dude. Those guys fucking had it in STEM landing. They were fucking dialed in. Anyone that was playing Colonial when Air Update dropped, holy shit. Best ground crew ever.
So, all right. So this, what we need to do, guys, is we need to get on Able, okay? And I need you guys to start sending me some videos of ground crew, and we're gonna get an actual like, what do you call it?
Oh,
Standings. We're gonna get a
already
record. We're gonna start taking records, dude. We're gonna start.
I already put out a video just like that. Someone was blasting the F1 like drill noises, and I put a timer up. I already had that.
That's so funny.
All right, dude. We
Yeah,
gotta
it was
do that,
the best.
guys. We gotta start a competition now in the whole community and make it a big thing for the fastest F1 team. And then you know what? I'll go see if I can get a 3D print of the little cars, fucking wheel guy that does the fast ass pit stop. We'll send you one, dude. Well-
One team's gonna get accused of cheating for having their aircraft that they're repairing like 1% more repaired than all the
Yeah.
aircraft.
Yeah.
Did we also get like the one guy who didn't quite get to screw the wheel in, and now the plane crashes, or what?
All right. So, moving on though, weather impacts aircraft lift. I think having I really thought this is something they missed during the airborne update. They kind of hyped it
I
up.
thought this was something that we're supposed to have in the
And
airborne
that's
update.
exactly what I
Yeah.
thought too. I thought weather was supposed to be such a big indicator. And by the way, I know the devs fuck with the weather, dude. It rained for
is
15
proven.
fucking days straight in King's Cage, the shittiest fucking map on Update War, bro.
Someone clearly doesn't live on the West Coast.
Fuck
It has been
that
proved.
map, bro.
It has been
Absolute.
proved that it's controlled by devs.
I just, little tangent. Sorry, got a little heated there.
Well, either
That
way,
shit
I
was
think
annoying.
the infantry will be happy to have inclement weather for once.
Yeah, for the first time. Now this does bring a question to my eyes, though. Going back to having damaged vehicles going into storage, does that mean muddy vehicles can go into storage?
Oh my
Nah,
god, dude,
that's
please.
been omitted. That's been omitted.
What about
We
frozen
need
You
that.
still, you still have to car wash them.
You still have to have a fucking ambulance there to
We
give you.
should talk about at the end all the things that weren't added and what we're hoping for in the next update. Because god damn, there's a few things, man. There's a few
Oh, good,
things.
'cause
But
I had a few.
No,
Yeah.
that again. Stop! You're ruining it. All right. Well, no, just play. We are gonna get there though. New visual indicators for pilots.
So this is another one. This is another thing I'm going to point to in the future. When anyone ever says the devs never listen to the community, this is literally from someone's post on Reddit. I don't remember who, but someone made almost this exact indicator idea, like fully mocked up and everything, and they've almost copied it perfectly. They had the indicator in a slightly different spot on the airplane like line, but same idea. Because it is especially hard from a top-down game to with limited depth perception to tell if something's higher or lower than you, especially in the air.
I'm kind of hoping the icon's gonna be a little bit easier to tell because just from the screenshot, for me, maybe I'm just getting old and my eyes suck, but like fuck, dude, I can
Yeah.
barely see that.
I wonder
that's
if it's
just
going to
you, man.
scale because I know you can make that line
I'm fucking going blind, dude.
like you can make that line
My
brighter in
fucking
the options
bifocal's
section. I'm
on.
wondering if you can also make that indicator brighter along
Yeah.
the line.
Yeah.
How would a newbie know what that means, though? I guess by trial and error. By
From watching
flying,
your
I guess.
Yeah,
flying guide, what do you mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say
That you're
dude,
gonna upload?
you have to have the content creators, us, drop bomb ass content, and they have to come watch us on our live stream and ask, "How do you do this?" And there you go, dude. Come
Yeah,
on,
Freric's gonna cook, dude.
Ferric's
make a
gonna drop a hot how to fly video, dude. It's gonna be awesome. Aircraft hit detection improvements. Okay, this is something I'm very impartial to because I think this kind of goes into the balance thing. I think every aircraft needs to have very clean models because it's already been proven and it's a massive fucking issue. The scout plane has massive bubbles around it on its hitbox. So when it's getting hit in the tail, you could be missing and you still be getting hit. I just don't. I really hope they changed a lot of the hitboxes, if that makes sense. Because I know this has kind of not a lot to do with hit detection, but it just still it feels like the same issue. If I'm shooting the tail, I should be shooting the tail, not the fucking wing, if that makes sense. Because I remember shooting at a side shot of a Warden fighter, and I'd literally like sometimes slip through the two cracks, and then they would like shoot my side. And if they would be missing by like a little bit, I'd see the tracer go behind me and it'd hit my tail. Like, hit detection is good. I'm glad we can see it better. But the hitbox has got to be good for that to matter, in my opinion. And
Yeah, I
thus
feel
far,
like
they haven't addressed this.
well, they really just made it. I feel like the whole focus with this is just for those plane parts. Because I mean, I remember watching one of the Gremlins that was flying a fighter, like get the jump off of a Warden bomber, and he kept shooting the tail and emptied a full box of ammo into it, and it did not break. Like he was like slightly missing, or I don't know. So I feel like this is going to help with that and maybe avoid some frustration with
I feel
that kind
I
of
feel
shit.
like you guys
Yeah.
are. I feel like you guys are missing something. Like the second line says, the same network rewind approach used to improve infantry combat has been adapted to aircraft. The hit detection for infantry sucks balls, right? So if they use the same system for aircraft, it's gonna suck balls. You guys maybe missed that line.
Well, no,
Which
I'm actually kind of doubling down on that. I'm saying if it's hit scan like that, it's gonna matter more that the hitboxes are accurate, not bad, right? Because with infantry, I have a very good silhouette outline. If they're hitboxing outside of my box and still nailing me, that's not gonna be good, is what I'm trying to get at.
hit scan weapons for infantry like suck though, because I thought the ISG and the Booker were like really fucking god tier good.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see because there's no low velocity other than scout planes.
Yeah.
These are all hit scan, right? So this is where I want to see where they're cooking with this, and maybe Gremblo, you might be onto something that if it looks like I'm hitting the tail, I should be hitting the tail, not the fuselage. Maybe they segmented out the damage sections a little better. I don't know. That draws concern to me. And I think what you did say does add a little bit more validity to it. Cockface. I just it's concerning. I'll say that. This will be a noticeable impact across the whole game for shooting aircraft. Players will find it easier to target individual aircraft parts. Aircraft defensive gear mounts will be more effective. And the ground base AA can easily score hits doing flybys. Okay. Tech tree and rocket changes. Okay,
I mean, this one
so
makes sense from a
This one-
overall war strategy perspective.
Yeah.
we're just gonna have nukes before bombers. Bombers are gonna be the last tech now.
Yeah,
Many
I
nukes
Interesting.
went off
I
last
guess it
war.
gives it a chance for the nukes to actually do something.
Were there any nukes launched last war?
Well, last war's pop. I don't think there's been a nuke launch since Airborne, and the one that got attempted got exploited.
Destroyed. Yeah. Well, it was the
So
hex
they're not.
or
So
border thing. Yeah.
they're not going with the AI path, and they're still going for
No.
manual AA.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So here's something I'm actually interested in: the naval aircraft versus ground / naval balance changes. 10 large. All right, scout planes are being so they're changing a fuckload. Health, cost, minimum range, reduced ammo capacity, as well as aircraft hit rewinding. What? Additional early game AA options should hopefully relegate these vehicles to niche roles.
Okay.
So they're going to be putting a pretty hard stop on scout plane spam from what I'm getting here. Torpedo bombers now fire a new medium torpedo, which only has a 20% chance to cause large holes, or else will cause small holes. Okay, I'm gonna be honest.
Okay. Yeah.
Again, I don't want to nerf the torpedo bomber to where it's not used. I do not think planes should cause large holes to ships. I think it's too strong. Because there's no, I just got to keep reading, because unless they add AA on the water that's more effective, I think it's still like it's a defenseless boat. I just don't see how adding a large hole from a plane will be
We'll have
fair
to
to
see
boats.
if like the AA gameplay is like improved on the ship, then you might have a chance of stopping the torpedo bomb. You might.
Hmm. Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm wondering if the machine gun changes, the hit scan registry, whatever changes, and all of that combine into enough of a buff to, see to air targets
All
to
Honestly, I feel
bombers,
like the yeah.
it's
merit. Yeah.
that's kind of big for the resupply time. All bombers and scout planes now require ammo to be loaded using a wrench.
Yeah.
That's gonna slow down loading a bomber a fuckload, dude.
This is one of those things where I feel like, going back to what you were saying with like alt activity, I guess like if somebody wanted to be a douchebag and just like take all the wrenches out of an airfield, like that's kind of a dick move, but it's,
Kill on sight
you're gonna
took
spend
my
a lot of
wrench.
time. If I see you walking around with like 5 wrenches, not only am I killing you, I'm making sure you get banned, dude. There's no reason why, like, no new person would ever have 5 wrenches. What the fuck are you doing?
I never thought I would see the day where you could get banned in Foxhole for carrying new wrenches.
Open up your pockets. What do you have in
Yeah.
there, huh?
What
What
are
if
you,
he was
some kind of
recovering 5 wrenches? You better have a paper trail.
Dude,
Better
the
have a fucking paper trail, dude.
Bro, you were the new sheriff of Wrenchtown, bro. You were
You
the wrench sheriff, dude.
some new players just like, but the components are like nuts. I thought this is how you harvest them.
Dude. I thought I needed this
True.
many
kill
tools, bro.
new players on site for taking wrenches, dude.
If a dude just went and killed a whole partisan squad coming back to the base to get all their wrenches depoted, what's in your pockets? You know what, dude? I'm gonna put a little skit in right here. Pause, and I'm gonna do the little what's in your pockets? What do you got there? What? That's very interesting. That's gonna be Gremlo, dude. This encourages ground gameplay. It increases the turnaround for aircraft time. Okay, so they went a different way of doing it, but longer reload time. Good. Bombers should not
and
be very fast. Bombers'
and the next
fire
bullet
rate
point
has
also
been
something you kinda
decreased, so
hinted at.
bombs are more spread. So again, they did adjust how effective. See, I like this. Are bombers going to become? Are they going to become too weak?
No.
I don't
No
know,
way.
because there's still nothing
Right.
else in the game that can quite match the firepower of them. But it might mean they have to do 2 passes over a target to ensure it's destroyed, which puts
Yeah.
them at more risk.
We'll have
It,
to
it,
see.
to me, that says that like they're not weaker, but they are more vulnerable.
Just remember that downing a bomber requires people to actually pay attention and actually look up at the sky and man AA guns, right? So it's still
Yeah.
like if nobody pays attention, they can still wreck shit.
I'm gonna be honest. Out of everything here, and I'm kind of interested what you guys think about this. I don't have any problems except this torpedo thing. I still think the hardest thing for them coming forward to balance is going to be the torpedo bomber versus the dive bomber. Simply on the fact of the targets in which both can kill or hurt. I don't like the fact that they can put large holes for very cheap in a large ship that takes so much more coordination and time to build and resources.
That's fair.
What you produce and what it can kill should have a limit, right? A dive bomber, the best thing it could kill is a railstorm cannon. And that's with multiple dive bombers, coordinated direct hits. That's the highest echelon theoretically you can kill as a ground target. That's ultra fucking rare to see and hit. The most likely thing you're going to be hitting is like something you could probably do every war is kill BTs maybe, and that's with ground or multiple bombers hitting the same thing. I don't feel like it's that unlikely for a torpedo plane, a couple of them, to go kill a large ship. I don't feel like it's that unlikely. Plus, the Naki being in the game and the indifference in submarine warfare, I just that's so hard for me to bite down and be like, yeah, this is good. And again, I don't want it to be useless, but that's tough, dude. I don't think they should have large holes at all.
I have two comments on that. One is that I've been saying even before Airborne for months that collies should just get a midget submarine, like a small submarine that can fire either like one, maybe two large torpedoes, or like 4 or 6 of the quillbacks, just so that the collies can build up more submarine crew training, and also give them a lighter but slightly more spammable, which fits within their factions, or I can't think of another word right now. I'm still sick. Just to get them
Get the
more
ball
submarine
rolling.
gameplay. But
Yeah.
also, I've always wanted this to be a thing, but I think all of the torpedoes in the game should just be slowed down by like up to 50% or more. It just feels like a ship never even gets the chance to dodge it. It's just that the other person misses. Because you play like World of Warships, or you watch the movie Greyhound, because it's a fucking great movie. And it's like, you get a few seconds, a minute maybe, to dodge an incoming torpedo because you see it out in the distance. But Foxhole is a scaled game. The distances are stretched or compressed as needs be. The torpedoes just cover an entire screen's worth of space in like a second. There's never any chance to dodge.
I also
And radars don't pick that up, right? Like a radar doesn't pick up a
no,
torpedo being
no.
used into
Yeah.
it, which that would be a cool thing to add.
Like
Interesting thing,
like if
yeah.
all
Something
torpedo
else.
stuff had to fire from further out, that would significantly change it without weakening it per se.
Something else.
There's an interesting. Yeah, go ahead.
Something else Chamberlain talked about that I've heard is how weak depth charges are too. Depth charges on a submarine should be like literally the equivalent of a torpedo hitting them. Like depth charges are quite literally a joke in this game. If you get hit with a depth charge, like IRL in a sub, you're dead. Like your ship's gone. You're gonna implode. And I feel like it's so weird. And that's something that I even said, if they wanted to give us, they should buff depth charges indefinitely. They should cause large holes on underwater vessels. Because then you have a cat and mouse gameplay. Destroyers would actually be scary for submarines, not some pissant, If they're underwater and you're under that destroyer, it should kill you. And the other thing is, I think the equivalent to that, and I think something that would be cool, is if they gave our version of the seaplane, right, give us a depth charge dropper, right? Because our biggest threat is not the frigates and battleships from the Wardens, it's Nakis. And I think something that would be even cooler is if they gave our...
Yeah.
I would like a depth charge plane, right? If you know that a submarine's loitering in an area and you have a plane that can see the silhouette from above and drop.
I'm pretty sure I said this. I'm pretty sure I said this leading up to Airborne on the last podcast I was on, Berg. But
Yeah.
if they give the collies a fucking Catalina, I'm switching to collies permanently.
That's exactly what I'm talking, dude. Yes, yes,
What the
bro.
fuck's a Catalina? Not to get political here, but what the fuck's a
So,
Catalina?
a Catalina-
CDY Catalina.
Yeah.
It's a
Go ahead,
flying boat. It had, I believe, actually the highest kill count of submarines during the Second World War was this little flying boat Is that what, like 4-man crews or something like that?
It was 6.
Yeah, it was
I
great.
think it was 6, man.
The mission Black Cats from Call of Duty World at War features a Catalina, and it's one of the best missions in any Call of Duty game ever. Fight me.
So essentially, they're badass, dude. They did fuck some subs up, and if you watch the movie Greyhound, I'm pretty sure you get to see a Catalina. Isn't that? I think that's what they're in.
Take on a sub, yes,
They
without
kill
spoiling
one.
anything.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Whatever. Sorry, boys.
Something that
Spoiler.
Gremlo said though is that, you know, like he said, there has been no changes to radar stuff, right? So it's still gonna suck just as much, right? It's still gonna be just as useless, especially with the air radio to land radio bullshit difference, where you know you cannot have both intel at the same time. So that's something that we haven't seen yet in the patch notes yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and what I was saying too, but it was like the sonar specifically on like the boats. I mean, like I mean radar too, but just goes back to like having more information. I feel like that makes it more interesting from like a gameplay perspective. So
Yeah. I think, and not to get too bitchy about it, I think they are moving a lot in the right direction so far. I still would really like to see this medium torpedo. If the Colonials don't get a anti-ship plane, they need to tone that down to small holes only, because it's literally just, it's a better version. Like the Naki can guarantee you a fucking large hole, but you can make, I think, 5 to 10 of these torpedo boats or torpedo planes for the price of a Naki. Like, you have two
don't hate
missiles.
Sky Hitler enough.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta be careful. I don't know if we can say that on Twitch. Fuck.
Oh no. But I'm saying we hate him. What do you mean?
Yeah. Fucking, I don't know, dude. I got banned for some shit. I don't even know. They didn't tell me what I got
Rip.
banned for.
Rip. Sorry, Berg, if I get you banned.
I discredited you now. I said you can't say that, so they can't ban me. Anyway,
Whoa.
what's up?
Each faction will be getting a second scout plane. Have you seen the rest?
Yeah, I was just about to see new scout planes and balance. Many new players.
yeah, I was kind of surprised they were gonna give us a new plane with this quality of life update.
Not just
and
give both the existing scout. I get why they didn't do that because of the hitbox thing. So they'd rather just give us probably a better scout plane that has the hitbox of the Warden scout plane. But like, I don't know, dude.
Also, hold on, before we get into the details of balance and all that, can we talk about two things? One, isn't the propeller like orientation for these aircraft kind of reverse of what the faction norm is? And also, there's got to be a real life reference for the Colonial one, because what the fuck is that?
That's
Called
fucking
art.
ugly.
It
That's
is
fucking
dog
ugly.
shit, but
Ugly, but it's just.
it is dog shit
Someone give me
ugly.
the real life
But
reference.
I like the
I'm
cockpit
curious.
of it at least. I
but it
mean,
goes back to what Bear was saying, that you know we could be getting a anti-ship plane, and it says right here the new colonial scout plane will launch miniature torpedoes.
yep.
So
Kali early war light boat warfare is going to be super strong with this thing.
I mean, that with
And the Strider?
the Strider is gonna be fucking
Dude,
potent, dude.
I don't know if
I'm
anyone
looking forward to it.
saw my stream earlier this week, but me and some dudes wrecked fucking house with a Strider.
Dude,
That
they're
The
thing-
Strider is
good.
so good.
It's also based, dude. It looks based as fuck, dude, and it
looks
just it's bad,
yeah.
dude. It's nasty. I had so much fun in the beginning of 132 with a Strider, dude. We
Yeah.
were
Oh,
fucking
right.
stuff up in KC with it.
Oh yeah.
Someone in your chat also pointed out, yeah, these scout planes can't land on water. Fair point, actually. I hadn't even thought about that.
Okay, but like, how many times have we all landed in water? I think I've done it once, and it was to pick somebody up.
Quite a few
I
actually.
was doing taxi service.
It just
Oh really?
depends. I mean, in KC, it helps sometimes. Like if you were getting, it's all situational, right? It depends on the land. I think it's nice to have the asset, but you can land on fucking roads and right next to town halls.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
I've done
It's
that
not like,
more.
yeah.
Remember which
Okay.
island it was, but it was in Fisherman's Row. But there was one island that the Wardens during the Airborne War had basically turned into like a mini refueling and rearmament station
Oh yeah,
for
yeah, I was fighting
planes. So
there.
stuff like that, yeah,
I gotta be
it
honest.
can be helpful.
The Warden plane looks fucking base, dude. That thing's badass. They finally got some love in the fucking looks department in planes. I think it looks pretty
I
good.
like the
But
plane too.
but it
Kind of has
drops,
the
if I
front of
see
like a
this correctly,
P-52.
it drops surface mines directly on enemy ships
Yes.
into the
Yeah.
water.
Yeah, so they're
Yeah.
inversed now of the
We
original
literally
scout
just
planes.
swapped. We just got each other's equivalent. So
Yeah.
nothing. Quillbacks are not Warden exclusive anymore.
Going back to like the balance stuff, I guess is a question for everyone, but Berg was the one that brought it up. Like for the sea mines that the scout planes drop, I personally think they're kind of underpowered, but what do you guys think? Are they like comparable to the torpedo?
So
Or I guess because it serves a different purpose, it doesn't need to be like that. I don't know. I just personally
Damage-wise, I feel like they are comparable. The problem with them is that because they're typically placed ahead of time, unless you get a direct hit, they're just easier to dodge. Like I said, I think all torpedoes should just be slowed by like 50%. But like the sea mines, you just go around them, right?
So the big
Yeah, exit the driver's seat if
difference
you're plowing towards one.
the big difference really because like again this goes back to the reason they did this implementation of torpedoes versus the mines is they wanted you to practice for your faction's medium planes. So that was the torpedo bomber and the dive bomber. They wanted you to kind of like practice, I guess, or get that functionality. The issue is with scout planes being so slow and fragile, and also the culmination of the hitbox imbalance, flying over a target in a colonial plane, like let's say you were going to kill the AA boat, you would have to fly directly over the AA boat at a slow speed right over their gun and get smashed. You would do more damage per hit. But again, with their scout plane, they could send torpedo, fly away out of range, reload, send, reload. They're never getting in full clash with the actual. They can. It's like sniping versus a shotgun, right? Except they do the same damage, and they're not really ever taking a risk. Is the main issue now. Colonials are going to be able to, at a distance with a scout plane, send torpedoes and do damage from a distance. And that's going to matter a lot when you're considering like how usually big Warden Navy can get. If you had a lot of these scout planes just fucking send their torps and then dip, come do it again, that's not. It's going to be a lot different for the Colonials. And the Warden Small Navy is going to have to step up a lot more because they're not going to have to face check them anymore. They can send torps from a distance, and they're going to have to learn how to Greyhound like we did. And it's a very steep learning curve. It's going to be very
I guess
interesting.
I guess I asked too because it's like, all right, when we have access to both planes, what do you think both factions are going to gravitate to with the scout
Torps.
planes? I personally think anything with torps, exactly.
It's
It's
no
just
one's
going to
going
be
to do the
that.
other.
I mean,
The-
I still think the other ones are going to get used for like sealing up rivers or isolating.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
but
you just
barely.
use a
Ships
mine
from
boat
attacking
though, because it's
ports and
better?
stuff like
They're-
that. They'll still,
It's
but
gonna
they're almost going to be like more of an engineer scout plane versus an attack scout plane, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
meta will 100 shift towards all torps. It will 100%. The meta will shift. It's already the meta is torpedoes. I think what Bear is saying, which I do agree with, I think the niche people will just like the look of that Warden Scout plane. I guarantee you, and run it. People might just use it for scouting and also setting up like it'll have more niche roles, but I guarantee you there will be like a 90 to 10% pick rate over the torps versus the other.
So
I would say 90%.
I have a suggestion now that we don't know if they've implemented or not, but would you then suggest giving the oh my god, I already forgot the mine lane scout planes for both the colonials and the wardens, would you then want them to have um more fuel so that they can stay in the air longer. Would that be something people would be interested in, or versus like the
they
torpedo
tweaked.
ones that are shorter
They
range
said
kind of thing?
they said in the patch notes right there that they tweaked the range on the scout plane. So we'll have to see what they mean by maximum range
Okay, yeah.
change.
Because I think if you
So
gave the mine lane ones more range, that might be interesting.
Might be better
You know?
for actual scouting purposes. You know, I think that would be
Yeah.
I think that'd be an interesting way to balance it. I do like how they kind of just caved in, and instead of trying to make things work, they kind of just were like, we understand how bad the imbalance is, and I'm kind of glad they caved, to be honest. And I'm kind of glad Colonials are gonna have early torpedoes. I'm telling you, I think it's gonna be really bad. Like, I think Warden Navy is gonna really feel like how bad it was to be in your medium boat and just see fucking 4 scout planes come shaft your boat and you can do nothing about it. It sucks, dude.
Yeah, I think
So,
you're right. Like the
Dude,
naval
we're
lodging
used to
X4 is gonna
warping as a
suck so
land unit
much.
anyway.
oh, both sides, bro. Both sides, dude.
Yeah.
Okay,
Fuck.
hold on. One other suggestion I kind of had related to scout planes. Would those who play Colonial more frequently, would you like if the Colonial mine lane scout plane could lay them all out like one after another, kind of like a heavy bomber, like drop 1, drop 2, drop 3, without having to reload between each
That'd be pretty
one?
cool.
Would that make
Yeah.
that sounds
better?
good. They could also very quickly kill a ship. You know,
I'll be honest,
Yeah.
there I'd love it if I could just drop those mines on like tanks or something, even though that they are sea mines. Like if I could do that, dude, because like what Berg was
I mean,
saying, it's
physically
practicing for
you
the dive
can.
bomber.
I drop them
You
on
can, but it's
infantry,
just
dude.
not doing any damage.
So,
Drop them on infantry.
I'm gonna give you guys my 2 cents on what I think would be really cool for the mine laying scout planes, and something I thought would be a lot more interesting for frontline gameplay. So these would be more land based, and I think something that would be very cool for them is to have um like mortar. So I think it'd be really cool to have like a shrapnel mortar, or maybe be able to drop flares on the battleground for your units below.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think having them be more utility, because I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. The mine sucks ass, bro. Like, it only does 650, and you have to fly right on top of shit to do it. Like, it sucks ass. If you were
No, you just gotta
dropping,
you can also lay it in front of the enemy. You just gotta hope they're fucking blind.
Yeah, but I've done that though, and they
yeah.
still ride right over the mine. Apparently, there's like some sort of like arming time that has to happen. Like, what the fuck is
Well,
that,
and
dude?
it's
Come
not even
on.
that, bro. It doesn't fucking do enough, dude. And you're relying on
Yeah.
someone to suck ass. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not
no.
very
Berg's
happy,
I'm
Berg's
trolling.
had some shitty co-pilots. I could tell he's not
bro.
happy.
But I 100% think flares should be a thing, because especially as a scout plane, like if you're, because like you watch the documentaries about like World War II bombing runs, they'd always have a Pathfinder plane to lay
Exactly.
out flares to direct planes in. Yeah, that would be such a great thing to
Exactly.
have.
And I think that would give that role or that plane a lot more versatility, and actually people wanting to be like, okay, I'm going to just go load this thing up with 10 flares, and I'm going to go, oh, they have a fucking Stygian bolt. I'm going to keep a flare on that fucking Stygian bolt all night long so my tanks don't run into the Stygian bolt. Or, oh, there's a Starbreaker behind this. Like, having a flare utility vehicle, in my opinion, or plane, would be a lot more fun and beneficial than that mine laying bullshit. I think
I
it was.
don't.
I just don't
I
like
think
it.
I would disagree. I think I would disagree. I think it's way less tedious to just grab a mortar and shoot a flare by hand than drive a fucking plane all the way from the airfield and all that, just pop a single flare or more. You know, you can achieve the same result as infantry with a mortar and way
Yeah,
faster,
but
way quicker.
there are limitations that you're gonna
Not if you're
have.
trying to guide bombers in
And
like a
also, you
specific
can get
path.
shot down, whereas the mortar guy
Well,
usually is
yeah,
not.
Yeah, but there's also
Well,
limitations to you, like wind
you
or
can't
battleground placement,
mortar
or
flare a boat.
yeah, there's a
Unless
lot
it's
of
really
things that
close
you
to shore.
can't do. And you're also not going to be able to see the gun shoot every single time from binos, and like again, it would be a more potent version of that mortar. Like you could do
I think
a lot more.
you're also doing two things at once. So like your example of the mortars and like doing it by hand with the hand tube or whatever, you're specifically doing that one thing. But if you're in a scout plane doing that, you could also be gathering intel. So there is a trade off. Like yeah, it could take a little bit more time and you're flying further away, but you are doing two things at
And you
once.
are
You're helping your
armed.
team doing it.
You do
Yeah,
have a
and
gun
you've got a
too,
gun.
you
Think
know.
about all of the LARP opportunities. Come on.
I'm just trying to look cool in the sky, you know.
Yeah.
I was just about to say as well, what's also fucking cooler and fun, bro? Like I'm telling you, there's a lot of things that a lot of people would drop just for that fucking LARP. I mean, the commander or the
Yeah.
officer uniform in general, bro. That thing's fucking useless. But you
I
guarantee
use it.
goddamn if I'm running
I
that
use
thing, I'm
it.
running that.
Pull-
Yeah, but it's
pull a
LARP.
true World War One simulator and just let us drop a bag of nails on enemies in trenches.
Dude, I still to this fucking day wish there was a goddamn bomber variant where I could strap 71 Dusks under in the bomb bay and just fucking mince a goddamn trench, dude. I still want that in the game. I still think it would be gangster.
Did
But
that with the bomber. We just turned it into an AC-130 after we dropped all of our bombs and started like tilting it into the Warren trenches, and we were shooting them into the trenches with the MGs. It was so
Actually
good,
kind of amazing.
dude, HG-130 above.
dude. It was the coolest thing ever, and I mean we died, but you know what
Who
could you
fucking
do?
cares about that? You got some LARP
Yeah.
out of it, dude. That's awesome.
yeah.
All right, bro. I'm gonna
Alright,
be
hang on,
real.
There's one little section left here of the notes.
Oh,
we
world
covered.
improvements. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I thought we were done.
Yeah,
I
okay,
was about
cool,
to get to the suggestion area.
Tiny little thing, but like cool that they still managed to have time to a few more points of interest.
Oh, nice. Added some more art
Yeah,
and
the
made
ship
things clean up.
pockets worked wonders, man.
Nice.
What's that? Sorry, face.
The ship pockets work well for them. You know, if you saw the Reddit post of like them having 6 weeks to fix 6 years of bad balancing.
Uh,
Oh, that's cool though. I'm glad they cleaned up some stuff, even though they had a fucking the video of SpongeBob where everyone's like panicking and the office is on fire and they're shredding files and shit. Someone made
Yeah.
a meme that like they're still trying to clean while that's happening in the background, and I was like, that's so true. I mean,
What's his name? What's his name? We forgot his
yeah,
name.
yeah. I mean, overall, like looking at every single thing, I think they definitely heard a lot of complaints of quality of life, a lot of things that have needed to be in the game for a long fucking time. I really think they're trying to listen to the community in a balanced way. I still think there are things that people are going to complain about, including myself. But I
There
think
always are.
I think that they're definitely attempting to be better, and I think they want to listen. And although they still haven't fucking hired a community manager, at least someone's fucking listening out there. You know what I'm saying? So I can't bitch too much. I think the bumps that we talked about and things that I still question, vehicle anchoring, we're gonna have to really test that and see if that's even worthwhile. And the other thing is, I really am interested to see what the real balance between the torp bomber and the dive bomber is. I think it's nuts that a dive bomber can barely kill one dive bomber can barely kill an MPF-able tank. I think that's insane when this can put a large hole in a ship.
Yeah, that one is useless. I mean, from what it looks like, they haven't touched that dive armor, so
I
that
think
one's still gonna be useless.
dive bomber, I don't want it to be too OP to where it's just fucking nuking every frontline tanker's gameplay, but the other half, the fact that something that costs that much time and resource to have to direct hit a tank 4 times, an MPF-able tank 4 times, that's kind of fucking useless. I don't know why we're going to be running that. But at the other half, like, I don't want to say, if they can only shoot medium torpedoes, and it can't cause large holes, are you going to see the torpedo bomber get used? There's a lot of things that I just, those two planes in general, I think are going to be harder to balance than anything else. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what they're going
I
to
think
do.
real quick, because I hate to be the guy that's like, I gotta not Irish goodbye, but I do have to hop off here. So I just wanted to say one more thing real quick.
Yeah.
But the if you think about it, right, like with the dive bomber and kind of what we've seen getting added, we're gonna get AA tanks, and they're shooting flak. So there is some way for like wardens to counter the dive bomber, but we don't really have that kind of flak variant, I guess, for naval, and that's the whole point of the torpedo bomber
Yeah.
is to just sink ships. So it would be cool to see something like that. But and I kind of alluded to this earlier about like what's one thing you all would have wanted to see in like a future update, because regardless, the devs cooked, and I like that. I appreciate and like that they're listening to the community and making changes, so that right there is a win. But like they already have AA for the large ships when they're anchored. It would have been cool if they had just allowed the AA for those large ships to also target the air, and I think that would make people a little bit happier with that. Or maybe just have those turrets target air even when they're unanchored. Just something to kind of think about there. But just
You
wanted
would
to
have to
mention that.
treat that very carefully, though, man.
Yeah,
You would
Yeah.
there'd have to be
very
balance with
careful.
it somehow.
Yeah, I think I think that's I mean, I know Bear has to go and Grimble, you got to go too, so we'll kind of end this
Not
one.
really, actually.
Well, it's just gonna be me and you again.
Okay, well,
I'm
we'll
I'm
have
good
to
to
do a
stay
little
for a
editing.
little longer.
Okay. Well, Grimble, I don't want to keep you too long, since you got to go, brother. But yeah, I definitely agree. I think that is something that they're missing quite heavily. I think if I'm guessing, knowing what the devs are going to be cooking, I'm guessing they're going to be making a Corvette boat for Naval, and I'm betting you it's going to be very heavy anti-air, as a support ship. I can imagine that becoming a thing. But yeah, I agree. I think that's the other big complaint now too. Dive bombers are going to be getting heavily countered, and to be honest, they can't kill that much with their payloads. I think that's
Yeah, I don't see dive bombers doing anything. I
that's
don't
going to be
see
really
colonial
rough.
colonies using.
Yep, just my thought
Oh
there.
no,
But
we'll
thanks again,
see.
Berg, for the ad.
Hey, dude,
It might
I
Talk to you guys.
appreciate you.
it might. Oh yeah.
Have a good one, Grumbo.
Are
So
you
it's
just
gonna
stopping
fuck
by,
up
dude?
here. I didn't know that early, so we
Ah,
gotta
I'm splitting too.
yeah,
Ah!
so I gotta change a few things. We're okay. Not
No,
too
it's all
fucked
good.
up. I just gotta
That's fine.
change your name. Uh Bear, and then we're good. Nothing too bad.
I mean, Bear's a warden, right? So you can just keep him as the warden name.
Okay, so we're not too bad. These are little fudged up, but not too bad.
I can probably do like another 15-20 minutes before I should actually go get
Yeah,
more
dude.
sleep. But yeah. So we're doing okay. So one
This is
thing I
just
will bring up
suggestions
is
and stuff now.
yeah, because like they said here in the post that they plan. They're basically, for lack of a better word, seem to be doing almost like crunch mode, where they're gonna do these updates, as they say, 6 weeks apart, which is kind of takes me back to the old days of like year one, when they had like bi-week or bi-monthly, no,
Oh,
bi-weekly,
dude,
bi-monthly, whatever. Every 2 weeks
the
they had like
bi-weekly,
I,
every two
yeah,
weeks it was.
bi-weekly. They had a bi-weekly like dev stream and update, and it's just like, holy shit, we're back, boys. We're back. The good old days are back, kind of. So that's going to be a pretty rapid turnaround. Obviously, I hope they get some sleep in there.
I mean, if they put that much content as they did right there with the first one, I mean,
Yeah,
it would
that's
be a
pretty
real
encouraging.
throwback to the past, dude.
Okay, but now for things we want to see, right? Okay,
Yeah,
I've been harping about this one since close to the end of the Airborne War, and I think this will solve a lot of problems for a lot of people. Runways and airstrips or airfields, whatever, should be more than a single strip. because people were complaining that airfields got knocked out by a single bomb run. So if you have multiple strips, it's harder to do that. And more importantly, when it's high traffic hours, there's not planes
Yeah.
taking off and landing into each other and flipping each other over on the runway and causing chaos. I told them they need a triangular airfield with 3 strips or like 2 strips and then all the buildings on the third part of the triangle, and then things will get a lot less chaotic on airfields as a result.
I mean, not even to mention, I just like agree with you. When there are fighters escorting bombers and bombers have to land and they're all trying to land on one strip at the same time and one asshole's taking off in a fucking scout plane not looking at region chat, oh my lord, the amount of
Yeah.
congestion and crashes that happen because we don't have adequate space. And not even to mention, like, the bombers can barely fit on the runway anyway. When you have flat guns in the middle section between the actual hangars and runway, people put flat guns in buildings there. Like, you literally almost don't have enough room for a bomber to actually land and or take off.
Yeah.
So I think having a bigger runway section would be good. I think the map might have an issue with some of those areas, like in Origin specifically. I think that would be a really hard implement.
And actually that's what I'm thinking about as well, cuz like you could have bigger runways on the mainland towards the back lines, and then maybe the islands have the smaller like one strip runways, you know.
Oh, so heavy
Have a difference
runways.
in runways, but
That
certain
Yeah,
is
runways are
why.
more important than others.
that
And
would
then
be
That is
actually,
cool.
why.
if the island runways are smaller than the mainland runways, then that would sort of inadvertently encourage more aircraft carriers for sea-based stuff.
Yeah, dude,
That
that'd
is
be
why
really
Bear
cool.
is an old boy in the game, dude. That is why people like Bear. You know, there's good takes like that, man. Like Bear for community manager.
I
Hey,
get my
thank you.
best
I
ideas when
appreciate
I'm
it. I
sick.
appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
both of you,
You
whatever.
know, Bear, I'm gonna take some of that. Thank you. Appreciate that. I like getting credit on my
You
name when
got
I
it.
don't
I
deserve it.
got enough
You
to
know.
share.
Thank you. No, dude. I mean that kind of goes in what I talked about a while ago, where I said less runways and having like maybe dirt runways or um only concrete runways in the back for bombers to have longer range time on bombers and stuff. I mean, that actually
Mhm.
goes hand in hand with what I said earlier and actually amplifies it to be even better. And I would really like the devs to explore the possibility of that because fuck me, that's a 10 out of 10 take. And that would make partisans for those at runways to be way more important. Something they didn't address, and this is actually something I wanted to talk to you guys about, is the dry time on
Fuel?
runways.
Oh, okay.
The dry time on runways is
Oh,
still
right.
48 hours. That's ridiculous in a game where it's 24 hours a day and people have fucking jobs. Like, I can't
I
defend
mean,
something for 48 full hours. That's
I mean,
ridiculous in my opinion.
we've seen the amount of stuff they put into this update, right? There is hope that these fixes will come in the future, right? Not,
Mhm.
it's not over yet. Even me, who's lost trust in the devs for a long time now, even me, I've gone hopium again. You know, seeing this update that things could be better again, just like in the olden days with the bi-weekly updates, right? But this is, I mean, this is looking very promising. I mean, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt that they didn't forget it and that they're actually still working on a solution on it, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
The only issue I see with 40 like reducing the time for 48 hours to dry is that if one team happens to be on a massive bomber spree, then rapid drying times will just extend their reach that much faster. But again, the main issue is that the team that's losing or losing the air war or whatever just doesn't have a chance to respond. So that's a fair
I
that's a fair point to bring up.
I think it should just be halved, right? Because 24 hours is more than enough time to recoup for another bombing run, but 24 hours isn't also enough that can't be defended. I mean, that's not
Right. Yeah.
unrealistic to defend something for a full day, but 2 days is like for something to be organized for 2 IRL days. That's
Take vacation, bro.
you know what I mean? Like that's really hard, dude. That's I mean just with people having real lives or
Just call Walk and tell him you can't come in. You need to defend your airstrip.
that's ridiculous. And to be honest, like even if you do defend it with the AA the way it was, so
I mean, I guess you will still have to have people 24/7 ready to shoot AA guns still.
Yeah, I mean for 24 hours at least, right? But I mean, dude, can you imagine just this is what I envision now too, right? Is you have 10 of those hatchets ready to go and you just sit there for 24 hours, just waiting, and then that one dumbass bomber that wants to pull up and you get him on the radar and then he just pulls over one and you just blow his shit out of the sky. They would stop doing that shit. I think that would be really funny.
I would picture it more like everyone's AFK, everyone's sleeping or something like that, and he just bombs the airfield back down.
Such a negative Nancy. I like to LARP, okay? I like to have hope.
That is one core issue of the game that has not been addressed. That is very true.
But all that being said, I don't think that they're doing wrong. I don't think that they're as panicked as people think. I think that they're still wanting to produce a game. I think that they have taken heed that we're pretty serious about our suggestions and that we're tired of not being heard. But I also think that there were limitations that they can't say to us that have been really strugglesome for them. And I think that we just need to come through as a community and stop being so fucking negative about every little situation. Understand that they're people too, and they're trying, and they have produced a game that we have a fucking degenerate amount of hours on, and we're gonna continue as soon as they get back.
You mean you can't function as a high functioning adult on like 3 hours of sleep? Come on, dude.
They tend to frown upon that when you're driving a bus full of students. They tend to frown upon that, but
dev glazing aside, they haven't fixed they haven't touched the fuel consumption at maximum range of vehicles, right? Of planes. They've touched the scout planes. It's been written in notes that the maximum ranges that's been affected, right? But the other planes, right?
fighters especially.
You don't have a lot of reach.
Yeah, fighters need way more. I think fighters, like, if we're gonna get down to the nitpicky of stuff that still wasn't addressed, I think what you said, fuel time. I still think, especially now that there is gonna be more flak AA on the ground with hatchets and stuff and divots, I definitely think the dive bomber needs revision, and I think that also we need to look into realistically the cost of like Colonial Navy if they're going to get a torpedo bomber, because if they're going to have that the way it is, I really feel like our aircraft carriers need to be way cheaper.
I feel like this update has the potential to turn the current meta 180 on its head, right? Where planes get bullied because they just don't have the fuel to do complex engagement, so they just constantly get shot down. I feel like this has the potential to happen.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think the counter could happen to where planes just become obsolete and it becomes ground war again, and planes become like a operation once a week, and you just try to do as much as you can, and then you just have scout planes ruling the skies until a big operation happens, which would just be partisanship.
Obviously, for each plane type, it would be different what you might recommend. But like on average, what would you say the planes in general? How much more percent fuel do they need in order to?
The fighters like a third more at least.
I think
30. Okay, so like 30%. Okay.
I think at bare minimum, yes, I would say fighters need to have at least 30% more, because usually they're up in the air before said asset they're protecting is up, or they have to chase said asset farther back to try to eliminate it X amount further,
Mhm.
right? So they need more operational time in the sky, and that's not including interference time where they're actually fighting other fighters or their return trip back. So
Right.
I could even argue that they need a 50% increase because fighters don't generally, and I would say not even the one with the 20 mil on it, the Harbinger, but specifically the well, it's tough to balance because if they no, Harbinger would be fine. They would need 50% more just because they have to do so much more. There's so much more heavy load on fighters to do so much, but they don't do that much to engage ground units. Like I would arguably
Mhm.
say scout planes are better ground attackers than fighters because of how fast you reach the ground. Right? I don't think fighters gun people down that much. Or if they do, it's way riskier, and I don't think people do it that often.
They have so much more speed to deal with, so they have a shorter opportunity to actually hit ground targets. So yeah, I haven't actually seen fighters strafe ground infantry that much.
Well, and even when they do, especially now, like with AA hatchets being in there, I severely doubt you're going to see the expensive planes do it. Like,
Yeah.
I doing casts with fighters is going to be way too. The risk versus reward is way too low, way too low. So I would really think, and not even to mention the realisticness of lag too. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
hopefully with that change that they detailed, that lag shouldn't be as bad.
yeah, we can hope.
I mean, more than anything, I just want the lag to be gone so I could do better cinematics.
Yeah, fuck.
20
I
frames per second does not make for good cinematic material.
I do think they have adjusted the bomber adequately though. I think that's one place they really touched up. That's going to be interesting to see how it develops.
If needs testing, I would say.
I agree. I don't want it to be too weak, and especially since it's the last tech, I want it to feel like it packs a punch, but I also don't want it to be the only game defining meta to where if you're not winning the bomber war, you are losing. I think there
Yeah.
should be other ways to win a sandbox game. That being said,
It's like the old school storm cannon meta almost
yeah, who
in
gets
terms of its impact.
exactly. That's it. That's a lot of people draw it up to that conclusion actually too. And a lot of people don't even remember taking the storm cannon races. A lot of the old vets do. It's been a
Oh
long
god.
time, but
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
yeah, see those old people
Just
size
remember,
guys.
old foxhole is better, right, guys? Right?
Wow.
I'm actually more interested in this RPG update. This came out of fucking nowhere, and I'm very interested to see what this actually means. Because I feel like this is going to be more advantageous for APRPGs than it is Cutlers. It's not really hard to shoot a box, a pillbox or AI, but moving
Oh,
tanks and
believe
stuff.
me, it really can be though sometimes.
Oh,
I'll
really?
send you some footage. Yeah.
Okay. I'm interested.
More just once in a while, but it is still annoying. Just like the slightest jitter will make your RPG. I had it the other day too, where I missed a truck or a guy because of a slight jitter, and I'm just like, well, I didn't. I was just standing still. I didn't do anything.
That sounds like a skill issue, bro.
But I mean, if there's anything else, I mean, what else do you guys really see that's missing? Because, like, from what I understand, Colonel's just missing fuel changes. Bear,
And radio changes. And radio changes. The air intel. The merging these two together,
Yeah.
simply.
Yeah, I know that everyone wants that. I wonder how much it's gonna take for them, if anything, to join the air and ground intel together. Because like they could have done it right from the start, but they chose not to. And I really wonder if they firmly
It's
believe that they should remain separate. I'm kind of e- I'm kind of impartial to the idea because I don't know that you should get all the intel, but I 100% agree it's really fucking annoying to have to carry two radios
bro,
on
if you
you.
have like the only way to get air intel as an infantryman without an air intel radio is to press E at bases, right? Like update your map at bases. But if you have a ground radio equipped, your intel does not update when you press E on a base. So you have to unequip your ground radio, so the base gives you air intel as well as a ground
Oh,
radio.
okay. I see what you're getting at. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, that's yeah.
it's fucking stupid, bro.
I this is I'm very biased when it comes to this plane. Obviously, I might be famous for getting a lot of the nerfs that happen in this fucking thing. Um, I literally, I probably have the most hours in a dive bomber. I'm very
Yeah, I watched it.
interested.
You're fucking good at it.
Oh, dude, I farmed a lot of clips of that shit, and I made the warden. I made the wardens made a post about me killing CVs at fucking Den of Knaves, dude. They got so mad at me. Ooh, it was bad, bro. It was really bad. Anyway, this does scare the shit out of me that this plane's gonna be useless though, because dropping 4 bombs on one plane, that's already gonna be it's gonna be really rough.
On one
On
tank,
what
you
you
said
mean
on one plane.
on a plane?
Sorry, on
I
one
mean, I know
tank.
I
I
was
know you
like, wait
can
a
drop
minute.
bombs on a plane, but I know that's not what
Well,
you meant to
here's the
say.
thing though. Yeah, sorry. You know what? Here's the other thing too. I don't think it should drop as many bombs on a plane to hurt plane parts either. I think that was bullshit. That's something that they changed. And I think that it should be reverted because if you get under a dive bomber and get hit by that fucking bomb, you should lose your plane. Like I have a clip. I have
Yeah,
multiple
to be
clips.
honest,
Or
yeah.
at least your wing.
Well, I have multiple clips. I dropped 3 bombs on a bomber, all on the fuselage, and it just got a damaged part.
You know,
That's
funny enough, I'm pretty sure I was
ridiculous.
part of a bomber crew in the airborne war that did actually get their wing knocked out by a dive bomber bomb. But I agree. I agree only if the actual defensive machine guns on bombers actually do the requisite
So
like defensive role.
I think that's another thing that needs to be addressed. I think all defensive guns on planes need their 50 cal ranged, maybe even tripled, doubled, minimally tripled, if not. They need to be
What is the
able,
current range?
dude. It's literally like half the 20 mil range. It's so bad. I don't know the
Yeah, okay.
exact number, but like what I'm trying to tell you is even if they are in range and you are mag dumping into that plane, it takes like 3 belts to damage a part. Like it is so
Assuming you're on
horrendously bad.
well.
What's that?
Assuming you are even hitting the
Yeah,
targeted spot.
it's so they're not even worth it. Like I'm gonna be honest,
Are
the
you saying
only
the
reason.
newbies?
What's that?
Are you saying the newbies on the MGs are just LARPing?
Yeah, that literally anyone. There's no reason to run machine gunners on any of the bombers. The only reason I would ever run a bat guy in my dive bomber was to land on aircraft carriers easier. For landing purposes with the air brake, and that's landing only. You
So you
can't
don't use
even
an
kill.
alt account for that?
You can't even kill scout planes, dude. It's so hard to kill scout planes with those 50 cals. It's that weak. Like it's so bad, and on bombers it's even worse because you have
Well,
3 machine
hopefully,
guns.
yeah.
It should be
Hopefully,
20.
the damage changes they said will actually
I'm
happen
gonna keep it a
as
buck.
they seem to hope.
If they don't, I think all bomber, dive bomber, bomber, and torpedo bomber, their defensive armament should go to 20 mil. I 100% think so. If they don't dramatically change how 50 cal affects planes, because it literally, it's the fucking uniform alone is worth not bringing on there, and it's not even that expensive for the unis anymore. It's that bad. That was actually a big gripe
Well,
we
time
had.
for more AC-130 LARP.
Well, and that's the other thing. If they could do AC-130 LARP, dude, I think the dive bomber could even have a little niche being a support cast, but it just the bombs being as weak as they are, and subsystem disables, I don't think it's worth the asset anymore. And I'm very interested to see what they do with the Torp Bomber. Well, I mean, what would, in your guys' perfect world, what do they do to the Torp Bomber? Like, realistically, what do you think would be fair?
Increase the damage again because it's fucking ridiculously low. Like it's not killing anything right now. You need to hit at least twice the same HED to be able to kill it, right? And it's very easy for you to miss it again, or for him to dodge
Sorry,
it as well,
talking
even if
about the
it's
Torp
slow.
or the dive bomber?
He's talking about the dive right now. I knew what he was talking about, but I was asking for the
Okay.
Torp Bomber. I mean, the dive bomber, in
Oh,
my
sorry, dude.
opinion, well, with them
Sorry,
adding
dude,
this
it's getting
new
late.
light, they need to add they need to do something with the dive. They just need to buff it again, to where it was, in my opinion. With that extra flak being in, I think the old dive bomber would be fine. Pre last nerf, but I'm asking you what you think they need to do with the torpedo bomber, because
Yeah, my bad.
that's the most question mark plane in the game, in my opinion.
Honestly, I
Honestly,
still
you
stick
could
with.
you.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, yeah, I would say probably you could leave it as it is as long as you have some sort of better chip AI, AA, sorry, just some other, maybe the shitty MG um chip can be buffed or something like that, or just add a new ship, some way to counter the torpedo bomber without it being directly on the big ship. You get what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
that you would have as some sort of a screening, for the torpedo bomber.
yeah,
Uh,
better screening ships. Yeah,
And then you could theoretically leave the torpedo bomber as it is.
Yeah. What about you, Bear? What do you
I
think?
still would love. I still would love, going back to my earlier idea, just slow all the torpedoes in the game down by like 50% and just see if naval captains and naval forces can actually dodge and weave torpedoes more properly. Because I think that would be at least visually really cool. I don't know if it would actually be effective, but I would at least be willing to try it. I'd also be down for the idea of being able to just directly shoot the torpedoes that are heading for you, and like if you get enough damage on it, you just destroy it in the water. Might be an
I don't know
interesting.
about
If you
I
can't
don't know
counter the
about shooting
plane,
the torpedo.
counter the torpedo itself, right?
That
I don't
would
know
be
about shooting the
insane.
torpedo, but I think reducing the speed, and my suggestion with a screening ship or something like that actually shoots it down, that actually can shoot it down. I think that's the solution.
Yeah, I think slowing the torps down would be a fine change, and that would still leave like the submarines would have a very big niche then too to still be utilized, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know if there was a submarine that got a confirmed kill from what I saw in 132. There was literally no boats going out because they were just getting shafted by planes. Like, whether that be at the fucking uh at dock by bombers, or when they were out at sail, they were just getting fucking harassed by torps. So we'll just have to see. But all in all, boys, I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna leave it to
Yeah.
I'm gonna do some questions in chat for anyone that wants to, and then we can end it there, because that was a really good episode. And
Yeah,
dude,
no, thanks for having me on. I'm lucky I was sick instead of working today, so I could
yeah,
do this.
I'm happy you're here,
You're
but
still there, man.
slash
That's all.
sad you're here, because you're
Ah,
sick.
it's
But
okay.
I'm
I need
glad
a
you're here.
break once in a while.
But yeah, dude. I mean,
I would say, yeah,
go ahead.
I would say overall, pretty good update. Right, they're on the right path again. It's a pleasure to see after a long time of them skill issuing and not playing the game, I guess, or something like that. But there is still a lot of issues that have not been addressed, still need to be addressed, that we've talked about at length, but I'm not going to repeat it, right? And they still have to hopefully address those at some time, right? I have hopium again, something which I lost, but somehow gained it to this update, and hopefully this will be addressed in the next patch in six weeks, if I understood correctly the roadmap, right? So hopefully we'll see, and hopefully
Yeah.
they listen to player feedback, because a lot of these new fixtures, new mechanics that they implemented need to be thoroughly tested, and hopefully they listen properly now to player feedback on how these are being done.
I really didn't look at this. I am happy they're doing 6-week cycles because now we're not going 6 fucking months without information, right? We're having a lot tighter windows for information and changes, and I didn't even see that. That's actually a
It's
big
like what we
plus.
said last podcast. If you haven't watched it, boys, it's all about communication.
I still
Communication.
agree. You know what? And Gremblow kind of nailed it on the head. I do not think more information is ever going to be bad for them and for us. I do think the world is healing, boys. We're getting
Displays all your friendly fire damage on top of your player head.
The bigger
That's-
question is, the bigger question is, what do we talk next stream though?
You know
We're
what?
gonna have to have a stream in 6 weeks
Well,
or thereabouts.
well, we'll go through about our bitching cycle from what we actually got to test in Dev Branch, and we'll actually get to be able to showcase a lot of that stuff and talk shit and say what
Do you
we're
think
still
Difference
missing.
will be out?
2 weeks from now, I would hope so, because they said that what update 64. I thought they were ending this war early for update 64.
Oh yeah, maybe. So we'll maybe see with the branch on next podcast.
Yeah, if not, we'll just have a short episode and
We'll
have a
see
hopes
when
and
Cope
dreams. Yeah, we'll just have a hope and dreams and
Well, obviously, we got to talk about how this war is clearly the last war that Foxhole's ever gonna have, right?
yeah, Foxhole is dead, and we can do like a whole we're still here and dress up in like, Armageddon clothes, and you can even bring back your high beam sun from your fucking nuke in your room, Bear, and it can be really cool,
Flash
dude.
bang.
Yeah, dude, it can be really
Oh,
good.
here's another idea for you for your outro is get that scene from Monty Python. It's just like, oh, I'm not dead yet. I'm getting better.
'Tis but a flesh wound. That's so good, dude. Oh my god, bro. God dang, dude. I do know what you mean though, Cockface, and I do have hopium again, and it's good. And Irish, I do think I don't think this update in general is going to be making a massive difference on the game and what people perceive. But I think they are turning the corner for it being better. We are about to end the recording session. I'm about to go stream some squad and other stuff. But yeah, guys, I will end the recording
anything
here.
but Foxhole.
Yeah, anything but Foxhole for now until this update comes out. But anyway, guys,
I'm dying
Bear,
of
Cockface, thank you guys so much for coming on. You guys are always awesome guests here, and I'm really excited to get that hopium back into the community, and yeah, I'm excited to see what people say. Thank you guys so much again, and
See you guys
Thank
next
you.
podcast. Bye bye.
peace, guys.